Hello everyone and welcome to another video from the Demon Overlord. Today I'm going to be going over video number 1 of 2. Internet-based purchases for alternative miniatures for Dungeons & Dragons. Now first up here, we're going to go with now this one actually I decided to make. I was recently doing some stuff with some green stuff here, and as you can see here, got us a nice little slime. Cute little slimy bugger. I plan to be calling something like this a blood slime or like a blood ooze, something like that. Very simple. Nice medium class slime creature. Next up, we're actually going to be doing with these Eldrazi monsters. As you can see here, we have a nice Eldrazi creature. Well, I mean, obviously these are from the game Zombicide, and I happen to find these on eBay for like $1.50 for like 6 of these things. And let's go with all 3 of them. There's 1. There's 2. And there's 3 of these bigger grappler ones. As you can see, I try to give each a different paint job so they're not all the same. And then here are the runner ones, as I call them, the scoutish sort of looking ones. I made sure to give them a nice sealant with a semi-gloss, so that way they have a nice glossy texture, but that they're not so glossy that they hurt your eyes. As you can see, they've got the purple one there to match sort of the other one. Now, these are going to be working for Eldrazi, since they don't have Eldrazi's for D&D, and no one really makes them for anything else, so I thought I'd make some by taking these crazy Zombicide monsters, as you can see, and turning them into like some crazy different classes of Eldrazi and giving us different colorations based on the 3 different Eldrazi Titans with like Ulamog, Emrakul, and those type of things, and giving them some different colorations so they can, be for either of the factions. Moving along, I'm trying to make this video not super long. We did happen to find, as well, another in the little lot. We have these little tiny wolves. Now, I think if I'm correct, I could be wrong. So in the comments down below, give a comment if you know where these are from. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they're from that Fire and Ice, that sort of Game of Thrones based board game. Let's see if I can get them out here without ripping the bag apart. And these all came from China, to be honest. Everything except for that little guy there and one other model later, which I will describe which one it is. They all came from China, so they did take a while to get over here. As you know, with the whole coronavirus going on, it's hard to get things from over there really quick. But we got like a little wolf. As you can see, they're very small. And let's do a quick comparison of this guy versus like a D&D unpainted wolf that I recently did. So I mean, here's a white wolf next to it. He's like twice the size. So these wolves they're all like definitely in the small class. I mean, they're like half the base size too. I definitely probably would say you could paint these up to be like coyotes or something. Maybe something along those lines, because if wolves are medium, coyotes would be probably one size smaller, being large, or being in the non-larger size of small. But the problem is, then they also can be used as foxes at size. I mean, we're going to do another comparison. Here's a hyena. Quick comparison there. I mean, as you can see, he's even dwarfed by hyenas. So like I said, I would probably maybe paint these guys as coyotes or something. I mean, let's get a closer shot here and get the camera to focus on them. And you see they have some nice detail and not bad, but like I said, they're a little bit on the small side. So they might be maybe a later project or something I might work on. Maybe they could be used as terrain pieces. But anyway, moving on. The second piece that did not come in a lot, like my little blood slime that I made, is actually this nice, beautiful, well-printed mermaid. Now, I believe this is from an Etsy seller who just sold it on eBay for the sake of it. As you can see, she is a nude mermaid with a nice little piece of jewelry. I gave her a nice red and blue bottom, so it helps give her some coloration difference from like the standard D&D mermaids. Get away from that stylement. So as you can see, she's really cool. Let's do a little comparison, shall we, of some like other miniatures. So this is a Magic the Gathering miniature of one of the planeswalkers. It is that merfolk planeswalker. I know in reality, she'd probably be like an sea elf in D&D or a Triton female. But as you can see, she's still the same size scaling. She's not off. Still definitely a medium class. And I like how she came with this base for me to paint up and put together with nice ease. Now, I actually did do a gloss coat on there, just so you know how to get this type of gloss for yourself where it's glossy but not overdone. Semi-gloss coat followed by a matte gloss or 2 coats, and it actually cut down on the gloss just right. And now comparing her to the merfolk, which I tried to make her a little bit more special looking. As you can see, she's probably like a little bit bigger, so maybe she's like a higher rank merfolk. So you can make her like an elite. I mean, obviously she has no clothing at all, as she's going completely for the au natural style, which there's no shame in that right now with these nice models like this. I gave her a try, some nice little body lining going on here. I mean, this is all painted by me, of course. All these paint jobs are done by me. And let's compare it to the only other water folk, really, of D&D that you can play as, a Triton. As you can see here, she's a little bit bigger than him in height, but, she is also jumping out of the water, so she's not on, like, the land walking style, man. Really nice miniature. This is a very nice miniature. I definitely would probably be using her as a higher-ranked merfolk. Definitely recommend her. You can find her on Etsy more normally. I found her on eBay because an Etsy seller was just trying to get rid of her on eBay because they probably didn't sell out of her completely. It is what it is. Next up here, we're going to be going with my second to last of this grouping. We have I think it's called like the Dragon Lizard, and I can't remember the name. It's like Neilbalg, almost similar-esque. And I know there's like, I think it's actually compared to the ancient Norse stuff. But this is what he got here. He did not get he just got a simple matte coating, so that way he didn't get too shiny. Now, I based him actually with a little bit of snake and monitor lizard. That's why he has, but I also added a little blue tongue skink with that nice blue tongue there. And yellow eyes, just because I felt he'd have reptilianish yellow eyes. He is sitting on nice pile of bones. Very nice large class miniature. I mean, if you wanted to really rip this off and rebase him, probably wouldn't be impossible, but I gotta admit, this thing is on there really good. So you're probably better off just leaving him as a large or gluing this down to a huge base. I decided to keep him as large because he's just a really cool giant lizard. And I mean, even Allosaurs are large, so he definitely could compete with an Allosaurus in combat. I'd probably use this thing as like a very aggressive like lizard. Probably you could find these in the deserts, on the mountains, or even in the forests and swamps. Like these guys can pretty much be like everywhere, even probably out at sea with this long serpentine body. They can probably swim pretty good. So, this guy came out really good after I painted him. I gave him, he has nice scale details you can see there on his back. Very nice. He's even got nice bony ridge detail of his little spikes down spike row. His feet, not much feet detail just because, they're mostly blocked off, but they are still there. And I love the face. Like, I was kind of worried about my orange green. I was afraid it was going to look like a cartoony thing, but I did just enough green to orange on the face that made him look really aggressive and really nasty. Like, this guy would definitely mess you up. And now we're getting to my last one, which is going to be this guy, who I put on a huge base. Now, I wasn't certain if maybe putting him on a huge base was my best idea, but also, this guy was also like $1 something. All these things were sort of cheaper side. He was a little bit extra because he's recent, dude, from the new Blood Rage Kickstarter. These guys are from Zombicide, but they were cheap. She was about like $5 from the Etsy seller who's just trying to, like I said, get rid of her. And this guy here was only about like $2 at most after tax. And he's pretty cool looking, as you can see. Now, there was one thing wrong with him, and that was one of his legs are actually was missing. And I only noticed it when we got back to when I actually got this thing. And I would let you, if you know which one it is in the comments down below, give a shout out and see if I'll tell you if you're right or not. I'll answer you back if you're right. But, I gave him like the lava orange. And I use all Army Painter mostly. I do use a little bit of Citadel. Like this blue here is some Citadel paint, but mostly I use Army Painter because I really love the color schemes they have. We got some iron tip tail here, some nice drake tooth spikes, claws. I did do a nice, good flocking job here and some rocks to give him some detail. I mean, this guy is definitely ready to go. He's definitely a huge class bruiser. He could be a good stand-in for an ankylosaur if you need one for your group and say they're in a fighting dinosaurs and your group wants something they can like kind of hide behind. This could be a pretty good thing to do so. You need a good cave monster. He's good for that too. I mean, he's whatever you want him to be, as he's not in the Dungeons & Dragons book, obviously. But as you can see, he has a lot of lovely detail points there. I gave him like a stone gray shell with like iron trimming actually to make it look really cool. Nice little brown underbelly with those nice scales. Even goes up to the face and just gave him some nice blue dot eyes to simply just give him that animalistic look. And I do love my flocking job. It came out pretty good on there with some nice grass / little moshes stuff going, And a nice simple matte. I did actually hit him with a semi-gloss too for Reptilian. And then I kind of didn't like how glossy he got, so I did a couple coats of matte to kind of pull it down. And he came to this in the end, which doesn't look bad. He looks great. Did not wash him just because I wanted him to be very clean looking. And here you go. Very aggressive, very powerful looking, possibly friendly monster if you want to go that route. Big boy here. So as you can see, that's all that I got from that first order. Like I usually say in all my videos, guys, do check us out for the Dice and Dummies. That is the podcast I belong to, where we actually use these miniatures And I am currently DMing the second season. So if you're on season 2, that's me DMing, making sound effects and making crazy noises because I don't give a crap. And I just have fun because I want to have fun and make my characters have a nice and memorable experience. So video 2 will be on soon, guys. Stay tuned for that one. It's going to be very short. There's not as much to go over, but still a little bit to go over. And if you want to get a hold of me on Twitter, guys, just for more direct messaging, I'm at 01Berserker. Leave a comment down below if you got anything, any questions or anything you want to say. Or if you want to find out where these guys are from, I might tell you personally through messaging which eBay guy I bought them from, just because I don't want to give their kind of information out over YouTube since, you know, possibilities of like identity protection. And that's all I got for you though, guys, today. Stay tuned and check out our Dice and Dice podcast and have a nice one.